Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say hello and introduce my special guest, which actually I do in the video. But I did want to introduce Ian Hemi, who is a Pittsburgh artist, musician from Pittsburgh. And I wanted to just, you know, say hello. I hope you guys are doing well. I appreciate every one of you. And I do hope that you do subscribe and also comment because this helps my analytics. I'm trying to get more hours, which has been very difficult. And I wanted to see, do you want me to continue with these interviews? And I need your help. In order to continue, I would like you to become a member of my channel. Um, it doesn't cost you much for per month, and you get special perks. The more you subscribe, you get more perks. So please enjoy this video and help me continue to bring them to you, and continue to watch my videos because that's important to my analytics. Make those comments, like my videos. That would be awesomely great. And you have a good day and have a good evening, and God bless. Bye. All right. Well, hi, everybody.
Hello?
Tonight we have a special guest from Pittsburgh, a musician, and his name is Ian Hemi. And I did say that right?
Yes,
Did
right.
I? Ian? Okay. And we're going to ask him a few questions and see what he's up to as far as the music world is going here. So, well, tell our viewers a little bit about your background and how you became or got interested into music.
Interested in music. Interesting. It's an interesting story. I was in school and we went to a field trip, and it was to the Greensboro Palace Theater, and we
Oh,
went to see Carmen.
okay.
So, I think I was maybe 8 or 9 at the time. And while everybody, all the rest of the kids were sleeping and saying how boring it was, I actually enjoyed it. So that kind of started it.
Okay. Nice, nice. Now that was an opera?
Yes, it was a
Okay.
symphony doing Carmen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, so now what type of genre are you into? What do
Oh,
you
I'm into everything just about. As far as my particular genre that I'm kind of put into, it's more or less lines just hard rock, shock rock, similar to Alice Cooper,
Oh,
Screaming Jay Hawkins, stuff like that.
oh, cool, cool. Okay, so
Very
you're
theatrical.
yeah, like more classic rock kind of
Yes, yeah.
deal. Oh, okay, so that's my genre too. So
Good, then. All right, then we'll get along just great.
yeah, I grew up in that, era. So, and how those songs and things like that are still here and they still sound good. I'm
The thing
sure.
about that. Oh, go ahead, Annie.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
No, the thing about that is that type of because to be brutally honest, I mean, like I said, Screaming Jay Hawkins really started it in the '50s because he's the one that influenced Alice Cooper. And Alice
Okay.
Cooper just took it over the edge. And the thing about Alice Cooper is that anytime you see him, I've seen interviews, I've seen him perform. He is a true artist,
Yes.
and he gives 100% all the way. So as far as his longevity, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, he's still going strong.
Oh
He's
yeah,
doing some great things. And like I said, even the Beatles, I mean, they
Mhm.
still are hanging in there even at their age. And look at the Rolling Stones. I mean, still
Yeah,
hanging in
yeah,
there too.
yeah. I remember
So
when I was
it
young.
it goes. It keeps going.
That's okay. But I remember, yeah, when I was younger. The main thing, like I said, I remember seeing Carmen, and then I remember this is something you might remember. If you remember, there was a movie, the Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, where
Oh
it
yeah.
was, it was the Bee Gees.
Okay.
You remember that movie?
Well, no, I didn't see the movie. No, no.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, I think I was maybe 11 at the time. When I was, I lived next door to my grandmother, and my uncle was older than me. He's about 10 years older than me.
Uh-huh.
I've been 6 years, sorry, 6 years older than me. And I went over there and he was watching it in his room. It was the Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I just fell right into it, I mean,
Yeah.
so, I mean, it really started with, going to see Carmen. And then I was like, oh, that's really neat. I'd like to do that. And then I went and seen Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band at my uncle's house. And that was that. From there, I just fell
That
into
was
it and
the
stayed there.
icing on the cake.
was
Yeah,
it?
usually, like musicians, I mean, they have one moment. Now, my husband also is a musician,
Oh,
and
okay.
he said it was when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. That
Ah,
was
okay.
his moment. So, I mean, it just seems like now some of the other artists that I've interviewed recently, they haven't really had anything from those days,
Hmm.
where people it hit them.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
mean, they're naming bands that I don't even know of. So,
Well, I
yeah.
still like a lot of the modern rock bands, and like a lot of the stuff, like my particular style. I do like a lot of '80s. If you remember the '80s metal,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
the thing about the '80s metal was it's in comparison to today's music. I just think that it was a bit more superior. Less the
Oh,
makeup.
yeah.
But what it
Yeah.
was is because then people like Ronnie James Dio and stuff like that, the Iron Maiden, the songs that they wrote actually told stories,
Mhm.
interesting stories. They was like you listen to a song and it was like you read a book,
Mhm.
and that always captivated me, and I was always wanted to do that. So,
Mhm.
like I said, over the years, I perfected everything, got it down, and got it right. And here I am.
Now, you're a bassist? You play.
Primarily, yes, but I'm a
Oh,
multi instrumentalist. I can play 12 instruments.
oh, wow, cool. Yeah, well, my husband's a bassist, but
Oh, okay.
that's his focus. He
Yeah,
doesn't go
yeah,
into.
mine's primarily bass. That's when I started on. So yeah,
Okay, cool. So, you play how many instruments you said?
12. I can
12.
play up to 12.
So you're like a one-man band.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, anything that anyone sees or hears from me on the internet or goes to my shows or anything like that, I basically I play everything. So I mean, I had a lot of where I lived. It was pretty isolated. We lived in the country, and
Mhm.
I always had music. I grew up in a household where the oldies were being played constantly. My dad was a huge oldies fan.
Mhm.
My mom liked the classic country like Loretta Lynn, Crystal Gale, that
Yeah,
type of stuff. So I
yeah.
grew up in that environment, and
Mhm.
just gave me a lot of time to really sit back and just take in everything. And like I said, I taught myself. I would see an instrument, and I was like, well, I want to learn. I want to learn how to do that. So I would sit
Mhm.
and learn it until I did
Oh, wow. So you actually played
by
by
ear.
ear?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
can't read a note of music.
Yeah, my husband can't either. He plays
Yeah,
by ear.
yeah.
And I
Like it's
think
funny.
a lot of musicians are like that,
Yeah, I think a lot of bassists mostly. I think
yeah.
every bassist I've ever met can play by ear. They can tune
Okay.
by ear. They can play by ear. I think we just have a perfect pitch.
Yeah. Well, he can tune a guitar and things like that, but for myself, I'm not very musical. I'm more on the artsy side. So,
So,
I wished I could do music. I wished I could sing. I mean, I would love to be able to sing, but yeah, I have no talent whatsoever. So, well, are you currently in any bands, or are
uh,
you just a
current,
solo artist?
I'm solo artist right now. Currently, I'm just kind of supporting. I told you earlier that I was appearing in a movie, and I'm
Oh,
supporting that by going out and playing as that particular character. It's a
oh,
character I invented, kind of like
oh,
like Alice Cooper did or David Bowie.
yeah.
So, and that's with Panic Terror Films. They're a company out of Pittsburgh, brand new. They just came out in 2020, and I approached them one time, and I was like, "Hey, I was just curious about doing a video." Then I was talking to the owner, Drew Moreland, who's oh, she's excellent. She's very good at what she does. And we just started talking, and we noticed that we had a lot of things in common.
Mhm.
And she was saying, and I mentioned to her, I was like, well, hey, in a jokingly kind of way, I was like, hey, if you ever want to do a movie kind of like Spinal Tap, I'd be more than happy to do that. And she got back to me shortly after that, and she was like, that sounds really good. So
Yeah, cool,
that's
cool.
what I'm doing now. So
Oh, nice, nice. Was that like the pictures that you had sent me, the
no,
photographs?
those were from just my previous shows I've done over
Oh,
the
okay,
years.
okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty nifty. I mean, really, to be able to get into something like that and just
Yeah,
do what you want to do too, what
yeah,
you
like I said,
love.
especially
So,
oh yeah,
well, let's
especially
get back
I
to our, our interview. Now, do you write your own music? Do you,
yes.
okay, and do you create lyrics? So you
Yeah.
have like original things that you do, you
Yeah,
perform.
yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing covers here and there,
Mhm.
but I mean, yeah. I mean, I write all my own lyrics, all my own
Cool.
instrument. The orchestration of it all. I do all that. So
Well, let me ask you, what comes first with your music? Does it come with the lyrics first and then the music, or the music and then the lyrics?
Well, it comes from various places. There's times where I've actually sat down and just been driving down the road and just paying attention to my surroundings and would catch something, and
Hmm.
I would give myself like a little quote, and I can write a song from that, or I can sit down and play guitar and hit a couple chords, and all of a sudden I can get a song from that. So it really comes from everywhere.
Hmm.
I have no real set way of doing it.
Like your inspiration for that, do you get it from life, or
Yeah,
do you,
yeah,
mhm,
yeah.
like
Like
your nursing home? Probably, I would. You probably can write a bunch of stuff from that.
Oh man, I could. No, you
Yeah.
know what? Like I said, I get it. Yeah, from life. I mean, I've been playing in this in the Pittsburgh music scene for 20 years,
Hmm.
and I've met a lot of good people. I got
Yeah.
out a lot. I'm very. I try to be as social as I possibly can,
Yeah.
and I take in everything. I'm like a sponge. I soak everything in, and from that usually comes a song
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, my husband's played out in Irwin a few times, and the Wicked Googly, which is in Latrobe, I think, or out that way towards Ligonier.
Yeah, looking at say that's where I
Yeah,
think I
Ligonier,
believe.
and yeah. So that's hard for us because we have to travel
Yeah.
that way, but we've traveled quite a bit to different places,
Yeah, we've
and
tried. Trust me, my wife would like to kill me lots of times, but we've done the same thing. So
yeah. Well, as long as she supports you,
yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, she's very
Um,
supportive.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I know some artists that we've worked with, it was very difficult with the wife not liking the idea and things
Yeah,
like that. So
I've
I
had
would
band
never.
members, same thing, and the thing about that is that's really sad because a lot of those band members just tended to fall off the face of the map,
Yeah,
which was their choice, and that's fine.
well, yeah, and I just find it sad because if you have that talent, you should use it.
Yeah,
And it's sad, but I guess women don't understand. That's why you need to go to every gig if you're worried. You need to go to those gigs.
you see, actually, that's what interested my wife in me because I guess she was with the story that I hear that I've heard is that she knew I was in a band at the time, and
Okay.
we ran into each other, and it just took off from there.
Yeah,
So
clicked. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Well, yeah, when I first met my husband, he wasn't playing. He had given, he got burned out from it, I guess.
mhm.
And because, like, with the egos and things that happen, and
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got lots of that.
yeah, so, and I kept telling him, "I don't even wanna do this thing, wanna do," and he would always play. I mean, he could pick anything up, because he
Mhm.
plays by ear, but, finally, it finally came about, so I'm glad it finally did. So, well, now, did COVID affect some of your, performing?
Oh yeah, oh big time. I'll tell you what. To be honest, I was dormant from like 15, no 60, 2016 to 2019.
Mhm.
I didn't do much at that time because I was more concerned with staying at home and
Yeah,
tending to my family, stuff like that.
right,
And
right.
so I stopped doing it for a while. And then whenever I was like, yeah, maybe I don't want to, maybe I do, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go back out because all my friends that I've had, musician friends and artist friends, were like, dude, you should get back out there. So I was like, all right, I will. So as soon as I got out there, within 6 months, COVID hit. I
Yeah,
had like
yeah, yeah.
5 shows scheduled that had to be canceled.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really, really rough on a lot of us. So
Yeah, yeah.
even
Well
like a lot of the venues that we used to play in then will never reopen because they
well,
couldn't.
yeah, that's true. A lot, I mean, my husband played in town at NOLA, like things like that. Yeah, and that place closed. I mean, a lot of those places closed that he
Yeah, a
played
lot of them
at,
did.
so
So well, I mean, you got to think, keep in mind, I mean, that was their bread and butter was live entertainment.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, some of them could do like catering or maybe dine, pick up and dine, take out. But
yeah,
most of them, they were bars that just were venues, music venues. And
yeah,
like I said, probably 75% of the ones that were here about 3 or 4 years ago were gone. 3, 4 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. It's a shame. It really ruined a lot of things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
So yeah,
know,
it affected me in a big way because, like I said, I just booked a whole year of show in 2020. I got to play one show, and then the second show that I got to play was in March, and that was the very day that they announced on the news about the COVID
yeah,
19 and stay at home, and that was it,
lockdown.
done. So
Yeah, ugh. Yeah, well, the one band my husband was in actually switched. He decided he didn't want because I had my son-in-law was in the band, my daughter was in it, my
Oh
husband.
wow.
He got rid of those three, and then he started a new band. So I was really upset.
Yeah.
COVID really destroyed this, you know. Oh well, you know. So, well, can you talk a little bit about some of your recordings that you've done, or do you actually record on your own, or have
Yeah,
you?
yeah. We have a studio. I have two. One that like I told you about the in East
Yes,
Pittsburgh, and
yes.
that's the one I generally do most of it at. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I'm the audio engineer, the producer, everything. I do everything. So yeah,
yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that takes a lot of
a lot of
talent
time. Yeah, it was more time than it's more
and
time
time.
consuming than
Yes.
anything. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
I would think it's very precise. You
yeah,
have to be really detailed with that.
yeah, I am. So yeah,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's easier to do it that way because, like I said, I'm one of those people that if I wanted to do something, I I like it a particular way, and I'm glad that I taught myself how to do all this stuff, the
Mhm.
whole recording process and producing and that. So it makes it a whole lot easier for me. So,
You're right. Now, your recording studio, do you have other people recording it, or is it
yeah,
just
yeah, I've actually worked with a couple of people. Kane Cross, who is my drummer. I'm in another project. Well, wasn't another project until, like I said, the pandemic. It was called Leaping the Bull.
Mhm.
He's my studio drummer, and he'll remain my studio drummer forever. Either way, I mean, he still plays drums and he still likes to play in his studio, but he just doesn't really want to get out and play, which is understandable. I know a lot of my constituents and friends that I've had over the years don't want to play out anymore. That
Yeah,
I've worked with, which is understandable, and that's a
yeah.
choice that they that's a choice that they make, and I can't
Well,
really
as you
force
get
it.
older too, it's hard
Yeah,
to lug that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. You might have something there. I never thought of that, but yeah, you might be right.
yes. I mean, we don't have that much to lug, but it's like my son-in-law who has to lug his drums and everything. But he's
Yeah,
younger; he's a lot younger. But as you get older, it's a tough one, you
yeah.
know. So,
Well,
and
like
then
I
you
said,
have to, you know, clean it all up, and
mhm.
yeah, it takes
Yeah.
forever. So. Well, now tell me, who have been some of your inspirations? I know you were talking a little bit about Alice Cooper,
Oh yeah.
and how about other musicians?
On professional level, are there well-known
Yeah,
ones?
more professional, and then
Okay.
like local, if you had local. But
Yeah. Well,
I
you know what?
always like to hear professional ones. You know.
Okay. Yeah. The professionals, like I said, Alice Cooper was really a really big influence. Another band that, like I said, I was young when they came, but I remember was Quiet Riot when they first came out in the early '80s. I
Mhm.
actually interesting story. I've been trying to find this on the internet. I can't find it anywhere. I remember the guy who did the bandstand. What was his name?
Dick Clark.
Yes, he did an interview with Kevin DuBrow from Quiet Riot, and I think it was like 1983 or something like
Mhm.
that. And I'm just a little kid watching it, over my uncles, of course. And he was talking about Kevin DuBrow was on there, the singer, and he's like, "Well, why do you do what you want to do?" And he's like, "We said, because it needs to be done." And he said, "Well, what have you to say to the world?" Because if he was interviewing, and and Kevin DuBrow was like, "I'm just here to say that rock and roll is here and it's back, and we're going to make it stay." And I can't find that anywhere, but
Ah,
that was the top. That was it. That was it. After that, I was like, done. I'm there. I mean,
yeah.
he has, simply because his vocals are a lot like mine. I have raspier, darker voice,
Uh-huh.
and I sat there. I was like, man, Kevin DuBrow can do it. I can do
There
it.
you go. Yeah, yeah,
So Choir
yeah.
Ride was a huge influence too.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like the raspy voice, especially with blues. It just has that more raw feeling, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, like I said,
So,
I think that's where a lot of the oldies that I grew up listening to, because my dad was a huge oldies fan, and a lot
yeah.
of that is blues inspired
Right.
music. And he would walk around the house singing it, and I'm a little kid, and I love my dad, and and that's the house I grew up in, and
Yeah.
like I said, that was always my favorite. As far as subgenre, blues was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I love blues. I
Hmm.
like that a
Yes.
lot. Yeah. So, well, I don't know, like what's next for you as far as your music. Which way are you headed towards? Are
Well,
you?
like I said, right now I'm just kind of focusing on the film I'm doing with Panic Terror Films.
Mhm.
Uh, we're taking it from there. I mean, I'm still writing and I'm still, creating songs for that particular movie. Like I said, it's actually a really good movie. Like I said, I explained a little bit about you. What it's about this uh, arrogant. It's definitely a character. He's some arrogant, disgruntled guy that never made it, right?
Mhm.
And that's basically what the whole movie's about. But it's very, like I said, I'm sure, like I said earlier, influenced a lot by Spinal Tap.
Uh-huh.
And
Cool.
I just think, I'm going to do that right now. I mean, I'm still doing some music and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to focus on that a little bit simply because I really believe that after the couple years that we've had, the world needs to go out, see a movie, and laugh again and
Yeah,
enjoy themselves again. And
that's
I'm
so
hoping,
true.
I'm hoping to do that with this one.
Yeah, well, good for you. That's awesome. Well, it certainly has been a pleasure. I would have loved to
Thank
have
you.
heard some of your music, but unfortunately, with your studio being
Yeah, okay, see, I can't do
shut
that.
down, but
But
well,
once you post this, so I'll post all the links that you can find. You can, it's all over
okay,
the internet. I'll send all the links whenever you do. Let me know, and I'll send them.
okay, yeah, I'm going to. Well, I'll be editing tomorrow and
Okay.
Friday, hopefully. So we'll have it up on by Saturday, and I'll
Yeah.
send you that link. But if you can get me those links before then,
Oh
that
yeah,
would be
no problem.
great.
Yeah, I could
Okay.
do that. No problem at all.
All right. Well,
All right.
thank you so much
Well,
for the
thank you.
time, and I really enjoyed talking with you. It was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, you have a good evening.
You too.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now.
We stop. I'm a musician and I've done acting. I did lots of plays and stuff and that. And I was always a good actor. But
Uh-huh.
once you're the type of music I do, you kind of have to be. You kind of have to take that persona of somebody else when you get on stage to make it interesting.